everybody. Now, I was really excited to do this assembly because that's right, I love reading, and Mr. Slater gave us a challenge yesterday. He is asking for you to send in videos or send in some pictures, so I look forward to seeing those at the end of the week. But he also showed us lots of different books. Now, reading is really important, not just reading for enjoyment, it's important for the whole of your life. You might need to read a recipe if you get a job in a kitchen. You might need to read directions and road signs if you get a job as a driver. You might need to read a manual or read instructions if you're an engineer. All these things are really, really important jobs, and they all need reading. So I've got a selection of books here that I'm going to show you. I've got old books. I've got a new book. I haven't even started that yet, actually. That old one was my favourite when I was in year 6. I've got a picture book, and all these books Mr. Slater showed us yesterday when he was in the library. This is something that I really like to read as well. Mr. Slater said these are really important too. And this is a comic book. Comic books are just as important and just as enjoyable books to read. And this book is actually a game. It's a bit like Where's Wally, but it's called Where's Will, and you can find William Shakespeare doing his plays in the pictures. I don't know if you can see him. It's quite tricky. So, as I said, reading is really, really important. Now, I'm going to read you a part of a very old book, a story from a very, very old book here. Okay, and this book is about myths. It's a book about very old stories. So I want you to listen. In the island of Sicily, high up among the mountains, there was once a beautiful valley called the Valley of Enna. It was seldom that a human being, even a shepherd, climbed so high, but the goats, being able to climb by the steepest and most slippery paths over the roughest rocks, knew well what sweet, soft grass grew there. So that's from a really old book. I want you to listen to a part from a really new book. See how the language, the words are different in the books. I like horror stories, but not when they happen to me. If you've read my other adventures, you'll know that I've been smothered in concrete, thrown in jail with a dangerous lunatic, tied to a railway line, almost blown up, chased through a cornfield, dodging machine gun bullets, poisoned in Paris. Whew. And all this before my 14th birthday. So, even though that was an old book and a new book, and the language was very different, a book lives in your head. A book paints a picture that comes to life from your imagination. You think about what the character is like. Are there people in the book? Is it monsters, or are there aliens, or are there animals in your books? Princesses, unicorns. That's the beauty of a book. Now, I'd like to share with you my favourite book. Okay, well, one of my favourite books, because I've got lots of favourite books. And if you were in my class, you'll know that I love this storybook, and my class love this storybook too. Because it's funny, it talks about underpants, it's an adventure story, which we love, and it's also got really beautiful pictures. So this is one of my favourites, and it's called Pirates Love Underpants. These pirates so love underpants, they're on a special quest to find the fabled pants of gold for the captain's treasure chest. Anchors aweigh, the captain cries. Hoist up Black Bloomer's sail, unfurl the secret treasure map. Pirates never fail. I think my class also like it because I do a bit of a funny voice. but it's a really good story. Now, I'd like you to have a little think about what your favourite book is. What story do you like best of all? It doesn't have to be a story book, it could be an information book. Talk to your parents, talk to your family about why you like that book and share it with them. Might be something good for you to do, and I'll look forward to those videos at the end of the week too. But before I finish my assembly, I've just got a couple of things I want to read you. Now, this is also something that I don't read very much of, but it's good to read this kind of poetry. And so this poem I'd like to share with you is all about reading. I love to read. It's such a special thing to do. Books are worlds of magic and fun. When we have the key to unlock all we want to know about everything, new and wondrous, old, enchanting and fantastic. I love to read. It's such a special thing to do. There are books about shipwrecks, dragons and distant lands, funny people, sad people, naughty people, bad people, grim castles with drawbridges, swish high apartments. I love to read. It's such a special thing to do. Find out about motorbikes, tap dancing and cricket, recipes for pancakes with lemon and sugar, fashion, makeup, CDs and games, international news. I love to read. It's such a special thing to do. The story works in your head. You can see the pictures in your mind. You can know the people and solve the plot. You and the author join hand in hand to make it live. I love to read. It's such a special thing to do. So, have a think about your favourite stories, your favourite books. Talk about them, say why you like them and share them with the people that are important and special and the people that you love. Now, as we finish our assembly, I'd just like to share with you a song. And this song is about loving reading, but I'd like you to listen to the lyrics. I'd like you to listen to the words because they mention lots of different characters in there. And you might recognise some of the characters. You might have read the books that the characters are in. If you haven't read the books and you think you might like to, well, give it a go. Okay, have a lovely day and I'll see you soon. Bye.
I love reading books, it's fun. I often read them with my mum. I like reading to explore. There's no better way, I'm sure. I love reading. There's so many books to choose. Get on board, you just can't lose. Books expand your mind, it's true. Reading books is good for you. I love reading. When I'm sitting on my bed, I go exploring in my head to Neverland with Peter Pan, and off to Hogwarts with a bang. Meet Harry Potter on the way, or Captain Hook, oh what a take. See mermaids in the blue lagoon, dance all night by the light of the moon. Go down the rabbit hole with Alice, meet the Queen inside her palace. To Narnia through a magic door, listen to the lion roar. Watch Charlotte spin her spider's web just before she goes to bed. See Willy Wonka's factory, but don't end up like my TV. I love reading. Now that you've met all our friends, this is where the story ends. All new adventures on the way, drift off and dream the night away. I love reading. I love reading. I love reading. I love